From a oh, I can't even say it. I'm excited about it. From a provocative book. You ready? We turn the page to the final film based on the worldwide best-selling 50 Shades phenomenon. Jamie Dornan and Dakota Johnson return as Christian Grey and Anastasia Steele in 50 Shades Freed.
Mrs. Grey, look out your window.
Well, you know it's true.
I'm taking you away for the weekend.
I just can't believe this is my life, that I get to live with you.
Oh, I love your precious heart.
It meant nothing to me before you.
Oh, 50 Shades Freed arrives in theaters and IMAX tonight. DFW film critic Julie Fisk and GMT literary expert Gwen Reyes join me this morning to dish it out. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Okay, so everybody, a lot of people have been waiting for this movie. It's tonight, but you're actually saying it's also tomorrow, the release of the movie. Okay, there's been a very tight embargo until now. We actually have permission to talk about it, but
yes.
Why so tight?
I don't really know.
I enjoyed it.
I know. We both have really good things to say about it.
Yeah.
So it was interesting to me that we were told they're actually here watching us right now.
Oh, great.
They are. Yes.
I feel like we're at the Oscars, and instead of it being like jewelry, we're being watched about what we say.
About what we say. But no, yes, we actually have legitimately positive things to say about 50 Shades Freed.
All right, well, let's get started. Of course, the franchise has already made hundreds of millions at the box office. Do you think that 50 Shades Freed lives up to the hype of the first and the second movie?
You know, it's a really great question, because I think what's really great about this one is it finishes the films. It makes it where you've got like a very cohesive story, and it's short and fun.
Yes.
And that was short and fun, and that's kind of all you really want out of a love story, is you want them to find happiness and enjoy everything and have the trials and tribulations and struggles, but also to have a happy ending at the end. That's what we're here for.
Well, and that's anytime you have a trilogy, that final one is when you wrap up all those loose ends. That's when you get down to the meat of what's really happening, and that's the case in 50 Shades Freed. Plus, we have an element of a thriller happening in this one too,
which they built up in the first or in the second film. They added a thriller element to it to kind of make it a little bit more exciting, I think, for all audience members.
We even get to watch Dakota Johnson do like some stunt driving, which she is a huge fan of in real life. So Jamie Dornan said he was terrified when she was behind the wheel, and when you see the movie, you'll get it. You'll be like, wow, I can't believe that was her.
Well, you know, we've seen a lot of the promotions. You definitely see a wedding scene. How is married life for the Greys?
I think it hasn't slowed them down one bit. I'll tell you that much.
No. It's funny is that I'm in the middle of planning my own wedding right now, and I was having so much sort of like wedding and honeymoon aspiration from this. I was like, wouldn't it be great to be a Grey?
Gosh, especially the honeymoon.
It's like a month long in Europe.
Wonderful.
It's like, oh, let's just go back to the yacht. You know? But it was. The wedding is beautiful. Her dress, and I just Dakota Johnson, just like dewy perfection. She is so beautiful.
She's great in this role.
That's a great description.
Dewy
perfection.
Yes.
You know, you mentioned short and sweet. It's actually the shortest of all the movies, 105 minutes long. But do you think that the movie is missing anything from the book that the fans will really want?
I really don't, because I think that what's been the biggest problem with the entire series, as a reader, I've always struggled with the fact that there is way too much in the text. It's very bloated. Whereas in the film, even though they were able to work very hands-on with their screenwriter, they were able to cut a lot of the stuff that wasn't really necessary in there. There's a lot of weird scenes. There's a lot of things. There's like a thing at the end that, at the end of the book, that is not in the end of the film, which I was very happy about. So it was a good adaptation. I feel like it's similar to Twilight, where they cut all the bad stuff and keep all the good stuff.
I will say on my way out, I talked to some fans of the books who were a little disappointed that they had taken some stuff out. But I think if you know going into it that they have definitely shaved stuff off for the benefit of the movie, it definitely makes for a quicker, more enjoyable film. If you know it going in, it's not going to hit as hard.
Yes. A little background on the film. E.L. James's husband, Niall Leonard, he wrote the screenplay for the second and the third movie. Take on that.
I think he did great. I mean, it's interesting because there was a huge, when the first film came out, they had an Academy Award nominated director, an Academy Award nominated screenwriter working on this, and they got into a huge fight with James. She did not want to work with them. They weren't getting what her image was for the whole, her vision was for the whole film, and then she brings on her husband, who is a talented screenwriter in his own right, to do it. And I think that, you know, having that close hand-on connection there really allowed, E.L. James to have the story that she wanted to be able to tell.
And you can tell the difference. It's like these last two feel kind of different than the first one. And I just have to say, that first 50 Shades movie made $571 million. So it actually paid for the two films that came after it. So actually, the franchise in general, worldwide, has made $1 billion. So anything that this movie makes is just icing on the cake. It's just extra cash. So good for them.
We have just a moment to discuss. I know you really wanted to talk about the controlling factor of the movie.
Yes, and that's something that it made me a little bit uncomfortable, because control, and Christian Grey is very controlling, it is a form of abuse, and it's tricky because it comes in increments. At first it's like, oh, it's so cute, he wants to know where I am all the time. But then after a while, he wants to control your food, and he wants to control who you hang out with. So
your birth control.
Right, your birth control. And there's elements of that in this, which is justified because of a thriller element that I'm not going to go into. But I imagine there are women out there who are in this situation, and it would be frustrating to see that.
I know we've teased it a lot for you. It's time to see it. Julie, Gwen, thank you for coming in. Check out juliesesto.com for her reviews for many other movies that she goes and she gets to see and give a review for us, or you can read more on Gwen's website. It's freshfiction.com.